Because you're all about the narratives, and this one is always going to be the master versus the student, isn't it?
It is, and to be fair, the student has done really well to beef up his team and his squad and his defensive base in order to take on the firepower that the master has. We all know what Erling Haaland can do, 12 goals across 6 of the 7 games he's played in so far. But Arsenal come into this in really, really good form. They've only conceded in one of their 5, is it 5, 4? 4 Premier League games so far, and that was an exceptional strike from Dominic Szoboszlai in the game against Liverpool. But the defensive strength they have at their disposal is outstanding. They had the best defence in the Premier League for the last 2 seasons. In front of that defence, they've got Zubimendi, the European Championship winner, absolutely outstanding and a very underrated position. And they now have that striker, Gyökeres. They can win games 1-0. Doesn't have to be pretty, doesn't have to be spectacular. But now they've got the balance in that side that says to all of their fans as well as the players, we can go to war with a club like City.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about that Arsenal midfield, actually, because I think at Anfield, he was criticised, Arteta, for being a little bit too conservative in the way in which they approach the game. How do you think they approach this one, and what do you think is that best 3 in the middle?
Well, everybody approaches Anfield conservatively. We did as well, and we had a better team than us had, with the utmost respect, man. You go to Anfield with respect because you can get hurt there. And the same thing when you're going to play, Pep Guardiola and Manchester City. They, in terms of personnel and players, Arsenal have a great squad, but City have a better one. So I think Mikel's clever. You approach that game with respect and a little bit of, you can bring players on to change the game. So I think for the first time, Mikel has a team to compete to win the Premier League. I don't think he had one before. I think the squad is for the first time with a puncher's chance to say, right, come on, City, come on, Liverpool. Let's see what you got. And I think with Gyökeres and all these players that are coming, I just think Zubimendi, I think now they can go toe-to-toe. And that's why this season is so important for Arsenal.
Oh, and do you think they'll play 3 in that with Arsenal, Zubimendi, Rice, Odegaard? Or do you think they'll play Odegaard and Rice together and maybe push... Rice and Zubimendi together and push Odegaard further forward?
No, Zubimendi will play. Just like you said, he's a European champion. He knows how to play in a big game like that, and you want to find a way to keep the ball against City. So I'd be shocked if Zubimendi didn't play. But I think now that midfield, you look at Arsenal's midfield, it's great. Zubimendi, Rice, Odegaard. But actually City now with Rodri, Reinders and Phil Foden back to being Phil Foden, that's box office. So be curious to see who comes out on top there.
Yeah, very interesting battle happening in the midfield, especially considering he dropped Rice, I think, for the Forest game. Let's talk about that Arsenal forward line, because you said for the first time now they have a squad that can really compete. That's very impressive. And they were plugging gaps. They were playing Merino up top last season. Now it's very different. And I think one player who got a lot of flack when he joined Arsenal, Arteta did, was Madueke. Yeah. And I think he's been impressive so far.
Yeah, he's a very good player. And the cool thing about Madueke is he can play both sides. He can play left or right. And I think now even you think about Eze, you see there the goal from Zubimendi. I always say to even my son's team, sit at the edge of the box on corners, the ball will come to you. And it always does. That is a great strike. This ball from California is crazy. And this ball from Eze is nuts. Honestly, that goal is amazing. People always try to play between the lines. But sometimes if they can't play beyond them. Gyökeres has started in brilliant form, obviously with 3 goals. And you think about Madueke, your point, Eze, Gyökeres, and then you got Saka, obviously, and Martinelli and Ødegaard. You got all these options in case somebody gets injured. That's why I think Arsenal can, for the first time, say, come on, bring it on.
It will be a fascinating game because of what's at stake. If City were to lose this game, and assuming Liverpool win the Merseyside derby, they would be 9 points behind Liverpool at the top. They'd be 6 points behind Arsenal in second. And I wonder, and you know about playing in all these big games, whether that will affect the way that City go into it. They can't go on the attack and leave gaps for a defence that's kind of finding its way still, even though they've got the experience between the sticks. Yeah,
I still think the 2 fullbacks, for City, they're finding something there. I think, obviously, with Donnarumma's a huge plus to them. He could turn out to be the biggest transfer of anybody, I think. And I think he gives them stability in terms of those big moments he can make saves. But I was at the game at the Etihad against Man United. And even United had some, even though the scoreline suggested it was one-sided, United had some moments on the counter-attack where they could have got something. So I think Pep will approach the game quite respectfully as well, because you never know, anything can happen in a game like that.
Yeah, he's actually gone 4 unbeaten without a win against Arteta, and it's never 5 in a row. So there's a little bit of history to be made as well. Let's talk more.
Arsenal and Manchester City are set for another blockbuster showdown as Mikel Arteta and Pep Guardiola renew their tactical rivalry in what promises to be a Super Sunday classic. The Emirates will be buzzing with anticipation, with Arsenal determined to prove they can go toe-to-toe with the reigning champions. Arteta has built a side full of energy, creativity and steel, and this match is the perfect stage for the Gunners to show their title credentials. With the likes of Bukayo Saka and Victor Gyökeres ready to test City's back line, Arsenal fans will believe this could be their moment to make a statement. On the other side, Guardiola's City arrive with their usual swagger, but also with the knowledge that Arsenal have pushed them closer than anyone in recent seasons. Haaland will be the danger man, but Pep's real weapon is his ability to adapt and outthink his former assistant on the touchline. This is more than just a match. It's a chess game between two of the sharpest managers in world football. With both sides packed with quality and ambition, fans should expect a fierce, high-stakes battle that could set the tone for the title race ahead.